Speak like you love yourself. Think like you love yourself. Eat like you love yourself. And care for your natural hair like you love yourself.
I feel like that's something that maybe not necessarily deters people, but prolongs the process for a lot of people of going natural, or maybe even just using more holistic products, is they feel like they feel they have to throw everything out all at once.
Yeah.
Or they have to just like, okay, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, and what can I do? And now they're stressed out just from trying to figure out how to wash their hair. So that's something that that's something that I feel is important to mention. Like when I feel like a lot of us who went natural, we just wanted to get all the products. Like I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this. And it's like, you can pace yourself. Like you can take your time on this journey. You know what I mean? That's something I think is important to stay. Yeah.
Yes, definitely very necessary. Just, one small change at a time. And
yes.
You'll look up and you are in a completely different place from where you started, because just one small change at a time.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Have you noticed any differences in your hair and health using like more holistic products than those that are more synthetic?
Yes. Oh my goodness. The first time that I used a bentonite clay mask on my hair, my hair had never been that soft before. Like, I don't even like, I think it was just something about detoxing the scalp just makes the hair super, super soft. So, and like I said, keeping it simple with like really powerful natural products, that's really the way to go, because that alone just did what so many synthetic conditioners had never done for me.
Yeah.
So I do notice with certain natural products like bentonite clay, I was using rice water at a time. It just made my hair so much more manageable. And it was just like, it was just crazy to me how we could just go out and spend all this money on these products with all these synthetic fillers and everything to coat the hair, to make the hair feel a certain type of way, but they're not actually moisturizing or hydrating the hair. And here it is, like, you can just put rice in some water, or you can buy some apple cider vinegar and like it just like gives your hair this like punch. And so yeah, again, like just understanding that if you use high quality products, you don't really have to do too much. You know what I mean? You don't have to do as much as you thought you had to. So I definitely have noticed a difference just with those certain in like products alone, ingredients alone. Yeah.
That's great. That's a great thing to observe about the changes in how like manageable your hair is. Natural things, because like one of the things I stress a lot in my content is that a lot of these synthetics are breaking down your cuticle, causing the hair to be dry, which is increasing the rate of breakage, which is causing density, which makes the hair less manageable also. And leads to some scalp problems. Like, it's a whole, I won't even say trifecta. Like, what is it? Quadrifecta, trifecta. That is 5 different things that this thing is doing to your hair, just because it's highly synthetic and it has these alcohols, that are, we saw
drying the hair out. And
it makes a lot of women think that natural is hard, especially kinky, coily women. I think it's hard, and it's really because the hair is being damaged slowly with these products. And so, the detangling is harder, the breakage is more, like, it's just a problem. But when you take those out the picture, it's easier. Like, the hair is in the cuticles in much better condition. Like, everything is easier, and you notice the health of your hair. So it just, you feel like the time that you're putting in is worth it because you are loving what you see. So I love that that is what you noticed.
Yes.
So it's different for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So prior to this conversation, I sent you a copy of my book, my ebook, Natural Hair, Natural Life, Your Guide to Flawless Natural Hair Care and Non-Toxic Natural Hair Products. What was your biggest takeaway from the book?
The biggest takeaway from the book for me, and I think just speaking to who you are, is understanding the science behind these ingredients and these products. That's always been the thing that I'm looking at. And then just knowing you, like I tell people all the time, this woman is a scientist with natural hair. Like she's a scientist, like literally you understand the science of it. And that's been the biggest takeaway for me is like, okay, where do we derive these ethyl alcohol? Like where does that come from? Why do they put it in the products? What does it do to the hair? Like that's been the biggest takeaway for me. And also to the recipes, I think I'm a big recipe person, and I'm a big like DIY person too. So that was really beneficial because not only I feel like a lot of people are always saying like, okay, don't do this and don't do that and don't do this. It's like, okay, so what's the alternative? Like, are you right? Because now I have to give up this thing that I've been doing for so long. I need something to replace it. I need an alternative to help me, like, you know, with this transition. So you breaking down the science of all these ingredients and what they do to the hair, and then saying, okay, well, here's the recipes you can use in place of that conditioner that has the ethyl alcohol, in place of this thing that you've been using that's synthetic and has silicones in it. Like, here's what you can do. And you can go to your grocery store and get it, or you could just look in your pantry and you probably already have it. So that's been the biggest, the best thing the two things that I love most about the book. Yeah.
Thank you. I love
of
that.
Course.
I feel like, you know, it'll definitely touch each person who reads it differently. And so I love that because, you know, so a lot of us are not DIY queens and we don't want to keep up or make a nothing. You want to know, okay, where can I buy something that is going to be healthier for my hair and it's not going to break my bank? And so, you know, I try to make sure I put some of that in there too, because I know us. I've been sharing long enough, honey. I know everybody. I'm like, I'm gonna get something for everybody in here. So if you are not a DIY queen, then you know, here's some options that you can
go get. Right.
And you don't even have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for sharing that. Would you recommend the ebook to others?
Totally. I have already been doing that.
And I thank you. I appreciate it because, you know, I just feel like the education is necessary, right? Is necessary. And I want us to be conscious about and vigilant about making sure that we're sharing information that really health supportive of not just our hair, but also our health. And so I'm like, okay, well, you know, this is my offering, and it's many people who want to help me spread that message. Like, I'm here for it because we need it, and we deserve it. We deserve it.
We deserve it. And you know, it makes me think about like I have a cousin who struggled with lupus for a long time. And that was her natural holistic journey. Was she got diagnosed with lupus and she realized, okay, there's a lot of things that I can't do, that I shouldn't be doing anymore, that I don't want to do. And I think when it comes down to like natural hair and like, you know, Black women who have natural hair and how a lot of these products can impact like our actual health, you know what I mean? Like to the point where they're causing diseases, they're causing cancers. It's just like, okay, we need this. We need the education. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you know, that's what it's for, us. You know, just like my services, just like my products. It's for us. And you know, the rest of y'all, you know, y'all, somebody else got you.
Right. The whole world got you. But we're keeping us in mind for this one. Right. Prioritizing us with this one. Yeah.
So after like more than a decade of being natural, how do you feel about your natural hair today?
I love earlier when you said, when you were talking about how the products help you manage, like, speaking to that, like products helping you manage your hair better,
Mm-hmm.
because that is totally what has happened. And what it's done, it's made me really fall in love with the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people dread wash day, and I get it, it's long, it can be tedious, but when I get in my hair and I just start seeing the water run through it, and I start like feeling the conditioner in it, it's just like, and then I start seeing the curls, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And just like, even like doing the mirror work of like wearing my hair and just like in a nice shrunken state, and like, oh my goodness, looking at the styles, taking pictures, like just really feeling yourself with your hair. That's where I am right now with it. I'm totally in a just like, oh, it's so pretty and it's so curly, and it's just, I'm totally in that space with my hair. So like, granted, I don't have tons of time, and this is
Mm-hmm.
usually why I keep it stretched and in this state, but when I do get my hands in it, it's just like, oh. And it's such a good feeling, because it's taken so long to get to this place. It really has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been a lifelong journey up until this point. And so being able to look in the mirror and just like what you see and start to really love what you see is just a different feeling that, you know, it just brings in, it just calls in a different energy to you. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I do.
Mhm.
And I'm right there with you. I love that for you.
Mhm.
I have, definitely been in that space for quite some time with my hair, which is part of the reason why I wanted to go into the professional space and
Mhm.
be a place where, women and men can come and get their natural hair cared for.
Mhm.
Change it into something else. We just gonna accentuate and elevate what it already is. And if
Mhm.
you want something else, you gotta find somebody else. Because
Right.
it's all, celebrating, embracing, and learning how to care for your natural hair.
Mhm.
Not that we wouldn't do, some, extensions, or, even natural weave, or even
Mhm.
straighten it sometimes. We can do that. Lock stuff,
Mhm.
it off. But if your primary MO is not wearing your natural hair, your own hair, you already know it wasn't working. It wasn't going down in my chair.
We're not aligned. I'm not your stylist.
You don't care
Right.
about your hair.
Right.
You just want to look a
Mhm.
certain way. Yeah, nah.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
So, did you notice an increase in the people around you wearing their natural hair once you started to confidently wear yours?
I did. I did. And it speaks to, like, this is something that I always say, that I realized, and I was just like, it was like like you said, an aha moment. Um, that saying, the revolution will not be televised. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that. I was like, I don't understand that. What is that? And then when I went natural, and then like years into being natural, it finally clicked to me. Oh, the revolution is happening here first.
Yeah.
It's happening in here first. And so again, I speak to that time period where I just feel like everybody was kind of just like on a questioning, and that sort of sparked this awakening of like, okay, like, what does my hair look like if I'm not putting this relaxer in it every 6 weeks or every
Mm-hmm.
2 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like there was just like a universal sort of like light bulb that turned on for people. And as they started to get more and more like deeper into the process and just exploring it more, like, they started to actually see the benefit of like their natural hair and wearing it in that state. So I don't think, even though I feel like I was one of the, at least in my community where I went to college, I feel like I was one of the women who were kind of like transitioning, like the one of the first ones within that community to start the whole transitioning process. And then soon after, I saw like many women just kind of like cutting off their hair, or, doing the big chop. So that was like a big term at that time. And so I wouldn't attribute it to, oh, I started it or I influenced them. I think it was just like a universal awakening that was happening around that time. So yeah, that's my theory. I can't say anything else to that because I'm just like, or maybe because I was in the state of like wanting to really observe my natural hair. That's when I just started seeing everybody else with their natural hair. I'm not sure which one it is, but I will always say that I think there was awakening happening for a lot of people at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm positive you're on to something with that.
Yeah.
Do you believe that long hair is synonymous with femininity?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And I would say this because, of course, the standard, the society standard is that, to be feminine, like you have to have long hair, or that's considered, having long hair is considered feminine. But for me, some of the most feminine women that I've seen have been bald women.
Yeah.
Women who are completely shaven, and I think there's something that comes with femininity, like true femininity is like owning who you are as a woman and just sort of moving with that. I mean, I've seen women who were bald. I've seen women who had tiny froze. I've seen women who had long hair. I've seen women who had, braids. I've seen all types of women. And what really gets me is how in love they are with themselves. And that's what makes them like feminine to me. So I say yes and no, because obviously the society standard is that straight hair or long hair is considered feminine. But I think honestly, no matter how a woman wears her hair, if she is completely owning who she is as a woman, as a feminine being, that makes her really feminine to me. So like I said, some of the most feminine women I've seen have been the ones who are strict clean, baby, no hair at all. So I think femininity is an embodiment. It's more than just the hair, the look. It's an embodiment,
I agree. I love that. Yeah, I'm with you on the femininity. The femininity is an embodiment. It's an energy. And long hair, no hair, anything in between, whatever type you got. If your energy is not there, is not aligned, no. So do you have like a positive quote or personal mantra that you tell yourself to keep the self-love flowing?
Yes. The most recent one is I am capable. I am capable. And I find that because I'm going into these spaces where I'm doing a lot of new things, like I'm taking on a lot of new journeys. I'm, trying to build up businesses and organizations. This is something I've never just really done before to this magnitude. So I'm constantly telling myself I am capable. Like even when you go in and you're nervous and you're scared, I'm capable. And then the one that I've always been telling myself is wherever I am, I belong there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's coming from somebody who travels a lot, who has lived in other countries in the world, I've felt like the other. I've been in spaces where I felt like I, didn't belong there because maybe I wasn't as confident or I wasn't as secure within my work. But in those moments where I start to feel that, it's an immediate, like, you're here, therefore you belong here. Yeah.
I love that. Fantastic. I think it's important to affirm yourself. Like, I was watching a video on like how a lot of us grew up not knowing what love is and how to love ourselves because we didn't see, healthy examples of love, in the home, in our environment. And so, we know provision, we know protection. I mean, and we know commitment, right? We know so many other things that can be components of love or extensions of love, but not what it is to love oneself. And like that's not something that we were taught. And so having affirmation practices, I feel like helps us get closer to that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then speaking on that, like the idea that love is just a feeling, right? Like, and it can be a feeling. It definitely is a feeling, but the action behind it, You know, I can talk all day about how I love myself, but am I putting foods in my body that align with that? Am I putting things in my hair, in my system that align with the fact that I'm saying I love myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So taking the action behind, okay, I love myself. So how am I going to show up for me? What am I going to do to show that to me, right? That's been a learning lesson as well, because I didn't, like you said, we didn't ever talk about self-love. It was always just like, how do you love this person? How do you love that person? Right. And never like, well, how do you love yourself? Like, so
and all
that's been,
that I feel like exists in the like affection space and the romance space, right? You know, loving
yes.
but then what does that look like for you? Is you know, for yourself. And so having the self-love, the affirmations, how you take care of yourself, like you were saying. So to that point, are you evaluating like your diet and your self-care practices and relating that to how well you love yourself?
All the time. And it's funny because like you have these moments, well, I personally have these moments where, you know, like you said, the old programming comes back up, and the deeper I get within myself, like within loving myself and showing up for myself, the easier it is for that inner voice, that new inner voice that's speaking positively to myself, that's like checking myself whenever I have these thoughts, will come up and like, okay, you really gonna buy them chips, girl? Okay, I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know, like it might not be the best for your body, but you know, so that conversation, that dialogue is happening all the time with me. And sometimes I'll say, you know what? Let me just treat myself. And then there's other times where it's like, no. This is not in alignment with the loving you, right? Even down to who I choose to interact with. Okay, is that in alignment with loving you, right? So all of these things, I feel like this is something I tell my clients all the time, like you have an inner voice that came from somebody else, like maybe a critical parent or like a bully at school. So now you have to create another inner voice that is from your highest self, to speak to that voice, to challenge it all the time. And so the more I grow in this journey of like self-love and self-compassion, that voice gets stronger and stronger whenever I'm about to do something that's like not in alignment with that. So it's a constant checks and balances within myself.
That's amazing. That is self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? In action.
In action.
And I love that. Let's see. What holistic hair and lifestyle practices are like a regular part of your life?
Okay. So holistic lifestyle practices, yoga, mindfulness, that's one that is just an easy go-to for me. I found that a lot of my stress, a lot of the issues that were happening with my hair, like hair fall or, you know, like hair loss, I guess you can say, was coming from my mismanagement of stress. So learning how to manage my stress has definitely impacted my hair in very positive ways, my hair and my skin. So that's one: yoga, mindfulness, just maintaining an active lifestyle. And I am the kind of person who I would prefer to just incorporate being active into my life as opposed to like, oh, let me go get a gym membership. Even though I do have a gym membership and I do work out, I just try to make being active a part of my everyday life, like riding bikes, taking walks, like something that is almost like embedded into just how I just live my life. In terms of hair care, again, going back to keeping things as simple as possible.
Yes.
I almost feel like my hair is just kind of like, girl, why are you doing all them steps? Like, can you just keep it simple, right? So yeah, the more I've simplified my hair care regimen, in terms of the process and the ingredients, I feel the easier my hair is to manage, the better it is, the healthier it is, and it's also growing past its plateau. So I'm just like, okay, so we're doing something here. We're doing something right here. So, and then another thing that I think is important to mention, if you can afford to hire help, like a stylist, like go to a stylist, please go to a stylist. Like I tried to do my natural hair and just manage it on my own for so long. And although it's possible, yes, that's essentially what you want to get to. I think in the beginning stages, especially when I'm like, I want to get serious about like maintaining hair health. I want to get serious about like just my hair's vitality. I was like, you need to hire a hairstylist. Like, stop trying to cut your hair yourself. Okay. Go to a hairstylist. The hairstylist I have now is she's like you. She's a scientist with it. She understands how to cut in an angle that is like, okay, this is how your hair is going to grow if I cut it like this. And I'm just like, okay, great. Because I wouldn't have known this. And I wouldn't have had the time to go out and learn this right now. So if you can hire, like if you can work with a hairstylist, by all means do it. Like I'm starting to see this as not like an expense, but as an investment. Yeah. You're investing in yourself, in your health, and your wellness. So that's how I'm viewing making that shift from like an expense to an investment. That was the key, right? The golden key right there. But yeah, those are the holistic flaxseed as a detangler and a pre-poo. Just again, keeping the ingredients as simple as possible and the process as simple as possible. So that way you're not rushing through it, or I'm not like trying to like get myself through wash day. I'm just falling in love with the process. So
yes. Yeah. That's fantastic. I love all of that. And the partnering with the stylist, if you're someone who doesn't have the time, the energy, the know-how, like it definitely will make things easier for you. It is important to be able to evaluate whether that relationship is worthy of the long-term investment, right? Your hair should be better. It should be thriving in this hair.
Absolutely. right.
Find somebody else, baby, because the professional is not always right. I want that to be the truth. I do, but there's different calibers of professionals, like you said, and so make sure your hair is thriving in the person's care. Because if you feel like it's not, and you have to trust yourself, don't listen to whatever little foodie wang they're trying to tell you. You feel like your hair is not what it was, like it is regressing, it is doing worse than when you started.
Yeah, you might want to check
on and end the relationship. Maybe set up a consultation and interview the next one. Make sure you guys are aligned on practices, products, all of that, so that in the future the relationship could be a prosperous one. For your hair and your health, because we have seen a lot of damage out here in the streets.
Listen,
at the hands of professionals. And it really, upsets for them.
Yeah, it does. And luckily, like, I feel like you set a pretty good example. You set the bar pretty high for me, because now I'm going in with questions about like, okay, what do they know about the cuticle? What do they know about like, I want them to know the science. So I'm just like, I want to deal with somebody who actually knows like the science behind natural hair, why it does what it does, how it's impacted, how it's supposed to be cut. And so that kind of helped me with finding a stylist. And of course we did like a consultation. So I was like, okay, I think this is a good match. And yeah, my hair is thriving under her care. Can I shout her out real quick?
Yes, please. Okay. I love to the folks out that are doing wonderful work.
Yes.
Because it's worthy of our business and our support. Absolutely.
Yes. Shout out to Head Designs in Oakland, California. And my hairstylist is awesome. She gives back to the continent. Like, I think Kenya. I'm not sure which country it is in Africa, but she gives back and she works with them there as well. So I'm just like, okay. So yeah, Head Designs, Oakland, California. If y'all are looking for a hairstylist who knows the science behind the hair, because Amena is retired. Amena is retired. But if you are looking for someone similar, Head Designs in Oakland, California. Shout out.
And I'll make sure to get like her info from you, so I can put it in the video description. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, very good. So are there like any more holistic practices that you intend to include in your life in the future?
You know what? At this moment, not right now. And this is something that I feel I've learned over the process of like just being more intentional about having a holistic lifestyle, is when you are wanting to switch over, again, like me knowing who I am, I want things done like now. And I'm learning how to just like love the process, right? How to just slow down and be like, just enjoy the process, right? So I feel it speaks to just what I've learned and what I've experienced to understand, okay, you don't have to throw everything at the wall all at once. Like, okay, pick up the yoga, do the yoga, right? Incorporate more holistic hair care products into your regimen. And just keep it simple for right now. So right now, I feel like I'm at a really good place with what I do and the routines that I do have. In the future, I don't see, I feel like anything that I have tried that is like holistic health, and it doesn't last long because it starts to feel like a chore for me. So that's where I'm like, okay, let me pull back and just keep things simple for right now. And then if something is absolutely necessary to do, then I'll incorporate it. But as of right now, I feel like I'm in a really good place.
You're good. Yeah. That's important, because sometimes not being present, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're always in a future moment, you know, you could just self-overwhelmed. And it's just, I had to learn that, and like just how to be present, how to be, you know, whatever the moment is, like even down to, you know, when you're out with friends and people, and, you know, people are all in their phone instead of in conversation with each other.
Just being present.
Just be present, you know, with
just
your
be present.
Like your phone, you're gonna always have your phone, right? Like you could do that anytime. So yeah, but like being able to be present and just, you know what, I'm good. Like I'm the majority of what you got going on right now, and it is supportive of everything you need in this moment. I love that. I think that's wonderful. Now,
being present. Yes.
Present in the moment. Now, if you have ever imagined a harmonious world, what does that look like for you?
Oh, this is a good question. This was a good question. And I actually thought about it very long and hard, because I'm the type of person who I'm just like, you know, if everybody was living in their truth, would it be better? And I think initially, yes. Because I just had all these questions about like, well, what if somebody's truth is harmful to another person? And what if that, it's like, if I could just imagine like a harmonious, perfect world, it would first of all start with teaching people how to really pour and love themselves. Because I think that's the reason why there's so much, I say, isms in the world right now, like the racism and the sexism and the class, all these isms in the world, is because there's such a lack of self-love that we experience, that we've kind of been programmed with as humans. So if everybody just learned how to really love and accept themselves, because how we see ourselves is essentially how we go out into the world and see and treat others. So I think if the programming was reversed to first understand how to love and care for yourself, there would be a lot more compassion. There'd be a lot more open-mindedness. We'd be a lot more accepting of people and just how they are and who they are, accepting of ourselves. So yeah, if I could see a harmonious world, it would start with people who just know how to show that compassion to themselves first. And then it makes it easier to go out into the world and share that compassion with others too, and that grace. So I can't even imagine what that would look like, but I just know it would be different because people wouldn't be leading from a place of trying to, harm others or trying to hurt others because they're hurt. They'll be leading from a place of love. So what that like visually looks like, I can't really see, but if I could just snap my fingers and make it to where it's that way, I would be interested to see how things play out if everybody had just more self-compassion and love for themselves. Start there. That's where it starts. That's the seed. Yeah.
It is so important because the world is nothing but a manifestation and a reflection of. So yes, what you believe, think, feel, you go out and do, and this is what creates our reality. And so that having people start with themselves, and I just feel like, if we ever got to such a place, because we might have to leave Earth.
We might have to shut this one down and start over again.
You may have to end up there,
right
there in a whole different dimension. But if it were ever to occur, on Earth, all of the energy spent in the lower vibrations, bickering, arguing, fighting, could be dedicated to building.
Yes.
Evolution and ascension and really loving and supporting, but just creating beauty and safety in the world instead of all these negative things that are being created. By some of us who are not yet on the path, right?
Oh yeah.
I still don't know what it would look like either, but I just the energy spent on the negative can be shifted to the positive, building.
Right. To building. Yes. And something that you said, it makes me think of, two things. So I feel like if people love themselves deeper and they saw themselves as enough, there would be a lot less wars. There'd be a lot less greed. And another thing that you said, speaking to the vibrations of self-love, it's a different vibration to be in. The world would be vibrating at a very high frequency, to where anything that's lower than that would not last. Because you have to, in order to stay in a certain space, you have to match the frequency of that space. So if we were all vibrating in a position of self-compassion and self-love, it would just, anything that's coming in trying to dismantle that would immediately get eradicated because it wouldn't last in that frequency. So just like you, I don't know what that looks like. Yes.
Not feeding it, So.
Yeah, we're not exactly. So I don't know what it looks like visually, but I can imagine what that would feel like, and it would just feel just really good to be in a world like that. Yeah.
Well, I won't say we can only dream, but we could just work on ourselves, right? And that reflection and that spark that inspires other people to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. So is there anything else that you would like to share with the people? Any events or offerings you have coming up? Anything at all?
I do. So at the moment, my organization, Diaspora Holistic, so we hold plant medicine retreats for Black folks all over the world. And this organization is, again, geared toward widening the avenue of access to holistic healthcare for Black folks. At the moment, I'm in an incubation stage with it. So I'm working on getting nonprofit status for that, and then also getting my business In Bloom Therapeutic up and running. But at the moment, they're kind of in the incubation stage. But right now, Diaspora Holistic, I'm creating a 7-week yoga community flow here in Oakland. And I haven't announced it yet, but it's coming in June. It'll be 7 weeks, the 2nd and 4th Saturday of June, July, August, and September.
Okay.
So the 7 weeks, and we'll focus on working on like balancing the chakras according to what's needed within the world and the society right now. So, or the community rather than the society. So just checking, keeping my ear to the ground to see what the people need, and then creating a donation-based yoga program and yoga community that speaks to that helps that. So that's in the works. Also, 2 more plant medicine ceremonies are in the works. Just waiting for the moment where I feel aligned and I feel like I've gathered all the strength to do that and hold space in that way. And again, just going back to being intentional with it. So those 2 things are in the works with In Bloom Therapeutic and Diaspora Holistic. And then I'm also working with organizations to host wellness retreats for them. So we're working together to curate wellness retreats in different countries. So that's been a thing as well. But other than that, just keep an eye out for the yoga class, because that will be the first, I guess, thing that happens out of Diaspora Holistic that we take and we make a long-term thing. So those are the things happening right now. Other than me getting my license as a therapist and working in that space, at some point I'll be able to do that completely on my own. So stay tuned for that. But right now, just again, being intentional and laying the groundwork for the creating these things that are just bigger than me, that the community needs, you know? Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we'll make sure to share with the people, when where they can find info for the yoga class and, the other things you have coming up. Now, where can we connect with you?
Yes. Okay. So you can connect with me via Instagram, Nneka.Osueke. So that's Nneka.Osueke. You can also follow Diaspora Holistic, Diaspora Diaspora Holistic on Instagram as well, and also In Bloom Therapeutic on Instagram as well. Those are the 3 avenues that you can contact me through right now, but we are working on websites for In Bloom and Diaspora Holistic. So stay tuned for that as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I have enjoyed this conversation, girlfriend, and thank you for being willing to show up and do this with me.
Okay.
So
and thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out and just thank you for, I'm always going to say this, thank you for the work that you are doing and how you are intentional in your work and making sure that you get this information out to the people who need it. Thank you for that.
It's definitely a labor of love.
It is. It is.
Myself, right? And then I'm sending that out to others because this is how I love me. And I would really want to be an example and a beacon for others who are, on the journey to self-love and self-embrace. So thank you all so much for joining us today for this conversation. With this segment, it is my goal to bring a positive, holistic, focused conversation to the natural hair space so that we all may have the most emotionally, physically, and spiritually healthy journey possible. Loving on and giving the best possible care to the hair that we were born with, and taking one step closer to living this earthly life as the highest version of our divinely created selves. So if you would like to join me for a conversation, do get in touch, and I will see y'all on the next one. Thank you for being here, Nneka.
Thank you so much, Amena.
Enjoyed you.
Yes, thank you.